Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Survival Heights Season 2. In the last episode, if you guys remember, we've been working on not this area up here, but the area below here where the storage area is. And I think a lot of you are enjoying the storage area. I've been doing a little bit of progress off camera, and I want to show you all exactly what I've done. So let's head down. Let's head down to the storage area. Let me show you all the progress I've done so far. So the main thing I've done, I haven't done anything with the ceiling yet. We want to fill in some of those sides, we want to fill in the top here, but I have started on the second layer here. And along with that, I have started on a bit of a transition layer between the second layer here and the first layer. And that is this little bit of detail. I need to fill in the middle there, but this little bit of detail that you see here. And at first I thought it might be a little too detailed. Because if you kind of look at it from the side over here, if you hop over here, you'll be able to see it kind of sticks out a little bit. That's some of the depth that I added to it. And I was like, you know what, maybe that's a little bit too detailed, but I've toned it down a little bit and I've come up with a design that I think fits the area a lot better. I had one before that extended out a little bit more, and there's some iron bars in the middle there that extended out like one block further. I didn't really like that, so I'm gonna go with that design. So if we hop over onto the beacon here, I'll give you guys a much closer, in-depth look. So what I struggled with this is, one, I wanted to use deep slate, and two, I wanted to be able to transition from this layer to this layer, because there's a lot of quartz going on here, and it's kind of hard to transition with something that's mainly deep slate between a quartz another quartz layer. So I put some quartz in the background there. You'll see some of the quartz, and I think that's chiseled quartz there as well. You'll also see that I'm using a lot of the polished deep slate here to kind of tie in with everything else that's going on around here. I'm not using any of the deep slate tiles. I thought that was too much of a variation. You can see the deep slate tiles up there. I'm not using those because I thought it was too much of a deviation from what I was used to in terms of the color scheme and the texture scheme for a lot of this area. So put some iron bars in the middle there. I'm going to put some lanterns, probably some redstone lanterns behind that to add some lighting. We have some lanterns here as well, just some regular lanterns that should help lighting up the area. But I think it is a pretty good transition, and hopefully you all like this transition as well. I think it's turning out pretty well once we get it all in. And we're going to use this transition here and probably with the one layer below, because of course we're gonna have a third layer as well. I think this is going to turn out pretty well. But anyways, that is what I've done since the previous episode. In today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be continuing with this storage room. I haven't added too much more up here yet. I still need to figure out exactly how we're going to mark where specific blocks are going. But I want to focus today on trying to finish at least this next layer and see how far we can get with a layer below that, see what other storage things I want to do, since this is probably the most important project we have going on right now. But before we do that, I do want to say, if you guys are seeing this video, hopefully you're seeing this before 1.19 comes out. If not, you're seeing it afterwards. Currently, I am still in 1.18. As of this recording, 1.19 has not yet released. It's still a few weeks away. But yeah, I have some plans for 1.19. We have this big project going on here, but I do also have other plans, and I want to share those with you. So if you remember, way over here, if it eventually loads in, we have this swamp over here, and we have a witch hut over here as well. I thought about resetting some of these chunks to see if we get a mangrove swamp here. If you guys don't know, that's something that is happening in the 1.19 update. But instead of that, I think we're going to try to transform this into partially a mangrove swamp in the 1.19 update. I know it's going to be a bit of an undertaking, but I think it'll be a pretty fun project to do, and it's right next to spawn, which should be pretty cool as well. But yeah, I think with that, we're going to try to build a witch farm as well. I've been meaning to build a witch farm around this area. It's going to be super useful for all kinds of different resources that you can get from it, and I want the opportunity to try to make a witch farm. So we're going to do that in the 1.19 update alongside, I think, working on our castle over there, working on the underground area as well. I like having multiple projects going on. Some of you guys already know that. I kind of call it the etho method. I think it's a really good method to stay interested in a world. So we're going to try that and see what happens. But yeah, that's for the future. Right now we're focusing on the storage room. And I think without further ado, folks, I need to get to work on it. Let's head back over here and let's get working on the second layer of the storage. So as you can probably tell, I've done some work, and we've got the transition layer done all the way around the storage area here. As you can tell, there have been a few small differences. The big one for these main areas here is that we're using redstone lamps, but without the iron bars. We went through a few different designs over my Twitch stream whenever I was building this, with or without the iron bars, using redstone lamps, using glowstone, using shroom lights, different things over the shroom lights. And we kind of decided that I think the redstone lamps fit the theme of this the best. Tried shroom lights, and that was a close second, but I think the redstone lamps for now I'm going to put here. And if later on in 1.19 we want to use things like frog lights, we can come back and always see about changing that out. But I also found out exactly what I wanted to do for the sides here. It's pretty much the same as these longer bits here. These are a little bit shorter at these ends here, which is why I had to do a slightly different design. They're all still pretty similar, just iron bars with a chiseled quartz behind the iron bars on the sides, and iron bars actually connect up from block to block because it is shorter. And in between, we're putting in some deep slate tiles. I think it adds a nice bit of contrast compared to the color of the deep slate tiles versus the color of the polished deep slate. They're slightly different, and I think it's a nice little contrast. But the transition layer then, ladies and gentlemen, is actually completed. Now that that's done, I might do a little something there. I feel like that sideways quartz pillar looks a little bit odd, so we might change that out. But apart from that, the transition layer should be done. I've also been working on the downside here, or the second layer here. Make sure that these roofs get in with the deep slate tiles as well. And walking around here, I think this is going to look pretty good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the next part of this is to put in the storage system down here and see what items we want to put on this level, because the top layer was a lot easier. I had a lot more of the essential bulk storage things, but the second level here is going to be the non-essential bulk storage layers. And I think probably on this side, we're going to put some storage for any of the automatic farms that we might have. I'm also contemplating making this middle section here not an actual like auto storage area, and actually making this an entrance into where we can go for the automatic farms that we're going to put on the other side of this mountain. So I gotta be wary of that, or I guess cognizant of that as we're building out this area. But I'm gonna go ahead, folks, and continue working on the area. I'm gonna continue putting in some of the storage area like the ones that we have up there, just because it's about time we get those in and see what it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead, folks, get working on that, and I'll see you all with a progress update in just a minute. All right, folks, and another progress update. As you can see, I've done a little bit of work down here. The main thing has been getting in all of these chests and putting them in specific areas. So I've kind of marked out with the signs what these areas are going to be. We've got concrete, we've got terracotta, we've got a few other things around here. I've been trying to sort of figure out exactly where I want all the different bulk storage items to go. This one is melons and pumpkins. We're probably going to make a farm for that somewhere around here. Sugarcane, but the sugarcane and cactus ones over here, so easier access. If we do end up making those automatic farms over that way, we have easier access to transport the items all the way over here. But as you can also see, I've been adding some of these glowing item frames up here as well, just because I think that they are a really nice way to sort of show off what is in each area, each individual storage area here. So like I said, cactus is there. Once we start putting sugarcane in here, sugarcane will go there, and so on and so forth. So I think it looks pretty good, though. If we look from the outside here, I think it looks pretty good. We've got, I'd say, a lot more work to do in terms of the bottom layer here, as well as the roof there, but I think things are turning out pretty well so far, and I'm happy with that. There are some other things I still need to be doing to hopefully put a final touch on some areas of the storage area. And the main thing is, I think I've kind of decided for the storage area, I want to go with a single shulker box unloader point, or we can just throw down a shulker box. It'll be thrown all the way around the storage system. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but I think it's going to be up there. So if we fly up here, I still need to look around, look for some designs, try some different things out, but I think we're gonna try to put it right here, and then probably use some water streams instead of these hoppers up there to sort of push the items around. But we'll see. I still need to sort of figure that out. So I think that's gonna be my next step. Let's see if I can try starting to figure that out. see what kind of shulker box unloader designs we can look up. Assuming that I do use one off the internet, of course, I will provide the video link for you guys to also take a look at as well. But all right, folks, I think I've got some more work to do. Let's go ahead and get back to it. Let's work on some more storage stuff. So before I go any further, I do want to update you all on the fact that, one, I haven't actually done any storage stuff, not really, since the last time. And second, I want to show you what I have been doing. A bit of a break with all the storage stuff. So you can sort of see over here, a lot of the houses here are pretty normal. You know, this is a lot of the stuff is here that was already here, but you'll notice some additional houses that I've been building, and that's because I've been kind of procrastinating on the storage stuff by building more houses to fill on the space. So we've got a house right here. If we walk over this way as well, I've kind of just been expanding this village. I didn't really want to do a lot of this on camera. It's kind of just stuff that needs to happen in the background, and the more I do, the better this place is going to look. So if we walk down here, you'll see some more houses. I've been working on the wall a tiny bit. You'll see some more houses along this way. I've been extending the pathway, a few houses here and there. I think I've built maybe 4 or 5 houses along this pathway, maybe 6 actually. I've extended the pathway over this way, and then the big thing that I've done is I basically replicated the same tunnel design that we have over near our starter house. I've replicated it over here as well. So same design, pretty simple, leaves, granite, bricks, hay bales, you name it, same sort of pattern. And this tunnel comes all the way out here. We'll eventually wrap this back around to the pathway that is at the beginning here. I still want to put a well in the middle here, so it's kind of waiting to figure out what I want to do for that. But I think in terms of how this village looks, how this village feels whenever you walk around, it feels a lot better now. So I am glad that I took a break to actually do this. But like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of storage room work, but I have done a little bit of planning. So let's head over to my creative world and I'll show you all what I've been planning on doing. So I've shown you all this a few times. This is my creative test world. I plan builds for each season of Survival Heights here. I think I have a few builds here and there, but this is what I've been planning right here. So I watched a few videos. I'll put them in the top right hand corner of your screen in that little card area, so you can have an idea as to what I've been looking at. But on the left here, these are shulker box. I guess this is a loader. I put the loader first, unfortunately, and 2 unloader designs I got from Kale Hammeren's video covering 4 different designs, 2 shulker box unloaders and 2 loaders. So I built the 2 unloaders here because this is what we're gonna kind of need. This is the first one. I forget who the original designee of this was, but it's pretty simple, honestly. You basically put the shulker boxes in here, your full ones. It'll I think dispense them here. It'll load all of your shulker box stuff into this into this hopper, and then you can sort of take it wherever you want. And then whenever it's completely unloaded, this piston's gonna break the shulker box, and the shulker box will go back in here. So that's the first design. It's kind of compact. It's all right. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think this is the one that we're gonna go with over here. And this is the second design. So essentially, you feed in the shulker boxes, the fully loaded shulker boxes into here. This dispenser, it dispenses the shulker box. It unloads all the items into this barrel right here, and then whenever it's done, the piston breaks the shulker box, and the empty shulker boxes go into this barrel. So I think this is the design we want. I like it's a little bit bulkier, but I think we're gonna have a pretty good idea of where I'm gonna put this in the world. So I think we're gonna go with this design. And then over here, something I discussed with someone on stream a month or 2 ago, probably. A suggestion I got was for the third and final layer for individual items to do Tango Tech's multi-item sorter storage system sort of thing. So I built this here. I followed Tango's tutorial. Like I said, that'll be a card in the top right hand corner. Just sort of figure out how exactly all these modules worked, and I'm quite happy with this design, the level of redstone. It makes a lot of sense to me as well. One of the things I like to do if I'm going to follow a tutorial is try to understand exactly what's going on with the redstone, and this makes a lot of sense to me. So I think for our third level, we're going to go with this design. I don't really know what to do with the middle here. But essentially this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This should be 7 wide. So should be plenty of room for at least the sides. I don't know in terms of the back and front. I guess with like the shorter sides of our little storage area, this is going to fit perfectly because you do still have to have this gap space in here. So essentially what I was going to do is that the 7 wide is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 through there, and we already have pillars in each individual section. So hopefully this fits pretty well. I don't really know what I'm doing for the middle here. I put furnaces right now, but Yeah, we'll see what I do with the middle there. I might put something else there. So, yeah, without further ado, folks, I think we're gonna go ahead and build these things. We try to start building these things over in the survival world. Hopefully, things turn out pretty well, and I can start hooking up all the storage systems. So, let me go ahead, folks, and get started working on this stuff. And I'll bring y'all back with the progress updates in just a minute. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Hello, hello. I know this is a weird transition, but before I go any further, needless to say, my voice either sounds different, something about the background sounds different. It has been, let's see, the last clip was recorded July 10th. It is now October 20th. It's been over 3 months since I last recorded anything for this series. Yeah, sorry about that. This episode I think is gonna take about 5 months since the last one came out. To kind of do a quick summary for those of you who have not kept up with what I've been doing. If you haven't been over at the streams or whatnot, the rest of July I was basically packing to move. August I spent moving. I also got COVID in August, which was a whole other ordeal. September was my birthday, and I think a few other things happened in September that I don't quite remember. Then October, I spent a week in San Diego. No, not for TwitchCon, for something different, but I was still like there around the same time. And then immediately as I was coming home from San Diego, I got sick, and so I am just now getting over that sickness. I'm still not completely healthy, but I'm almost there. So, needless to say, it's been a busy few months. That's not an excuse. It's just a summary of, in case some of you are wondering where exactly I've been. So I haven't exactly been a consistent streamer either. Those of you who are over on Twitch as well. Yeah, it's been kind of a mess, but I do have some updates for you all in today's episode, and I want you all to come along with me on this journey, and let's show you all what I've been doing. So I have actually built the shulker box unloader design that we previously talked about. I have built that. I have also built the third layer of storage. I have also connected everything up. So let's go ahead down here and I'll show you. So I have this little staircase right here. I forget if I've shown you guys this, but this is the shulker box unloader. This is the Kale Hammerin one that I mentioned to you all before. Essentially, I just put a whole bunch of shulker boxes in here. It dispenses it down into the hopper that is down here. So right now it's dispensing it into this hopper, I believe. Got a whole bunch of stone that I'm putting into the storage system right now, and all of the empty shulkers end up actually down here right now because I was a little worried that this one barrel wouldn't be enough, so I made a second barrel as well, so that should be plenty. But this is the permanent location for this, but this little staircase here is temporary. I'm still trying to figure out a better way of retrieving everything and checking the hoppers down here as well, since I put I put composters over every single hopper, so I can't really access them. It should help with lag, but yeah, it's something. Like I said though, if we hop down here, you can sort of see it through here. I've connected everything up with a hopper chain. Probably not the best way of doing that, but I've done that for now. The first layer, you can see I've been using these item frames as you've also probably previously seen. But we've been slowly stocking up on things like stone and trying to get all of our materials consolidated. I've been trying to fill in some of these backgrounds as well here with this deep slate tile, which I think looks pretty dang cool all the way around here. So I need to get rid of some of these torches. But that is another step coming in the near future. We hop over this way, go over to the staircase over here, down here. This is kind of temporary right now, but this will go over to another hallway. This is where I want to have some additional areas here inside the mountains. So different farms like sugarcane, cactus, things like that will also feed into here. You can sort of see right here, cactus right here, as well as sugarcane right here. So that will be in a whole another project, but that's not for today. Definitely not for today. And I've started filling in some of these areas as well. Like I said, these all kind of connect up. Every single layer connects up to that one shulker box unloader that's up there. And then if we hop down here, the first big thing you'll notice is that I've started to dig. I've decided to do a fog light, or like a foggy floor. So if you guys don't know about the fog effect, essentially you alternate layers of glass and air blocks for about 8 layers, I believe, and that creates a bit of a fog effect. So that's what I'm doing down here. I've just barely started. So there's a lot more digging left to do, but it's starting to come along. and I'm happy with the progress so far. We have all the transition layers here, as you can see, and you can also see I have Tango Tech's multi-item sorter design all installed here. Man, this took a long time to do, though, to be honest. You can't see it. Let me actually see if I can hop down and show you guys the redstone, or I can just hop in here. Needless to say, there's a lot of redstone here, and these are all like individual modules, so yeah, this was a lot of redstone, and it all had to be done perfectly. Now, I don't even know if all these actually work. We will find out. We'll find out in the near future once we actually get all the items in all the barrels. We have to fill all of these slots, for those who don't know. So once we fill all of these slots and we can start sorting some of the individual items, then we'll find out if this thing actually works or not. So that'll be a time. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out. But yeah, so this is what the storage room is looking like. I think is looking pretty dang cool. Obviously, we have that area up there that needs some work. We have some areas on the ceiling that need some work, but nevertheless, I think things are coming along pretty well, and I've started to use the storage system a little bit, especially at the top level. That top level is pretty much all filled in terms of I know exactly where each item is going to go. So I will eventually probably do some sort of book listing or some sort of way of record keeping what each level has on it, because I have the item frames up there, but you don't really know necessarily what all the items are in all the individual storage systems on each level. So I want to have a way of recording that. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. Probably a book and quill or something like that, but we'll get to that in due time. And with all those progress updates, that is going to bring today's episode to a close after 5 whole months. Very long months of recording. We are finally going to be ending off today's episode, and you know what time it is if you've been watching the series. It is time for the comment of the day. This comment is from In the Wake, who says, "It looks really good, White," in response, of course, to the storage system. "And congratulations on your newest life update. Thank you. I wish you much happiness. I personally like seeing the progress happening, no matter how chaotic the process. The progress updates are good, but I like seeing the process. Just my 2 cents. Thank you for your 2 cents. And of course, this was in response to the question that I posed about whether or not people actually enjoy seeing the progress updates or not. Obviously, I don't necessarily care either way. I think that the progress updates versus seeing the process is easier for me. But if you guys like one or the other, you're free to leave a comment down below as well if you want to put in your 2 cents as well. Also, I like seeing the day of the world that you're on. It really adds weight to the accomplishment of surviving this long. Thank you. And I am really glad that some of you guys do enjoy seeing the day. Speaking of the day, we are getting really, really close to 2,500 days, which means there's going to be another world tour once we hit that. Hopefully it won't be 5 months away, but we'll see at the rate that we're going. I have no idea when the next world tour is going to be out. So, yeah, we will see. And thank you so much for the comments, everyone, last episode. Thank you to In the Wake, of course, for the comment that I featured in today's episode. Oh, and before I forget, if you guys have not checked out the Afterlife SMP series, we just started a brand new season. What is it now? Season 5? So if you guys have not checked out those episodes, make sure to go check them out on my channel as well as some of the previous episodes of this series. I have a whole playlist for all that kinds of stuff. So check out the playlists. I try to keep them updated as much as possible. If there is anything I forgot in today's episode as well, since it has been a whole 5 months since the last one, and this one has been in progress for about 5 months. If I did forget anything, please let me know down in the comment section below. I will try to add links as I remember them, but I may forget some things, so if I do, please let me know. But anyways, folks, it's gonna wrap things up here for today. If you did enjoy today's episode, and make sure to leave a like down below. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe as well to get you notifications and stay updated when I do actually post videos once, twice a year, something like that. Whatever the case might be. Anyways, folks, take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.